Okay, so we were talking about the 5-day schedule when the last video finished. In this case, the 5-day schedule is obtained by not changing the duration of the activity from originally 2 days to 1 day. In this 6 days case, if you see that duration of activity B was reduced to 1 day, but in this case 5 days the duration of the activity B was kept as 2 days, and then E was reduced from 3 to 1 day, so which is there. So in this case 5-day schedule can be obtained. So, and for example, in this case A, B, E will be 5, 2 plus 2, and then 1, and then AC will be 2 plus 2, 4, and AD will be 2 plus 3, 5. Okay, and the cost will be $260. It's because the original cost was $120. Then for reduction of A, it would increase by $40. No change in B. E was changed from 3 to 1, so there will be $70 more, and D was changed from 4 to from 5 to yeah, let me check. D was yes, D was from 4 to 3, yes, so for $30 only. So $30. So in this case, so this $260 will be the cost. So 100, so that makes it 260. Okay, so in this this is how you can achieve 5-day schedule. So for this project, so we have the original schedule of 8 days, then 7 days, 6 days, 5 days, 4 days. So 4 days is the minimum possible. Okay, so for 8 days that cost was 120. For 7 days it was 160. For 6 days it was let me see, 220. Yes, 220, and 5 it is 260, and for 4, which is 350. So as you can see that the more you reduce the duration of the project, the more is the cost. Okay, so this is shown here in this chart. Let me make it a little bit bigger. Okay, so there is as you reduce the duration of the project, there is a sharp increase in this cost. Okay, sharp increase. So 4 days is the crash duration, and this is the crash cost. So crash duration, crash cost of the project. And here you can see that A was reduced, then A plus B were reduced, and then A, D to E, and then B was relaxed. Minus B is shown over here. And then in this case, A, B, D was reduced by 2 days, and E was reduced by 2 days. And then here it is all crashed. Okay, there will be no further reduction. Even if we reduce the remaining 1 day crash in activity D, there will be no further reduction. It will only increase the cost. Okay. Okay, so this is the cost, crash, duration history. Remember that here we are only talking about the costs, which are the direct costs. Okay, direct costs. So direct costs. Therefore, there may be some overhead and indirect costs as well. Although the direct costs are increasing, the indirect cost will most likely decrease with the decrease of the duration. Okay, so if you add these two costs, direct cost and the indirect cost, you will get the total costs. So you may expect that with the effect of direct and the indirect costs, there may be some optimum level of cost. So for example, if the uh, direct cost is changing like in this fashion and the indirect costs are changing like this fashion, and then indirect costs are changing like this fashion, so then there will be a kind of an optimum curve, okay, for the total cost. Okay, so this is the direct cost, this is the indirect cost. Okay, so this so the then that duration or the cost total cost can be also considered, but here in this example we have only considered the direct costs. Okay, so with that, this crashing the project example has been completed. Fast tracking is another approach for reducing the duration of the project. Uh, in crashing, it is different from crashing, because in crashing you reduce the duration of the activities, but in fast tracking it is not necessary to reduce the duration of the activities. Rather, you overlap different activities. For example, the design and construction activities in construction projects may be overlapped, so you don't need to wait for the design activity to fully complete, and then you can start the construction. So when a certain amount of design has been completed, the construction or the next activities can be started. So which means that these different types of activities can be overlapped. uh, well, this that type of approach is popular on construction projects these days, and of course it can be also used in other projects as well. And there are certain disadvantages for this approach. uh, One of the disadvantages is that there can be increased number of change orders and uh, relevant problems with those change orders, and for example more claims, and these more claims and more disputes may arise in certain situations. However, uh, the research has shown that the increase in the number of change orders is not that much, so therefore with some proper experience in this type of approach, the fast tracking can be applied successfully on projects. Another way for expediting the project or increasing the duration of the project is by way of some multi-layered approach. Okay, well, this is not just like a quantitative method. These are different approaches which can be applied. So for example, uh, the one of the approach is the rush approach, and the other type of approach is called as the blitz approach, and their comparison has been shown here in this table compared with the normal. So for example, the uh, title for example, the approved project definition in the normal situation will include the full definition. However, in the rush approach, some abbreviations from the normal can be allowed, or in the blitz approach, which is rather more fast, only as necessary for major management decisions or purchasing and design engineering. So the in the rush approach and the blitz approach, different types of uh, uh, aspects or the characteristics have been compared over here, and this you can study.